Oh, hey you. Thanks for stopping by. It's Gunny here. And yeah, Empyrion has just released their new 6.5 update. And I just want to do a quick recap of the current tutorial now, which has its own starting entry on the menu, which is kind of cool for new players. So I want to do a quick tutorial for the new guys on some of the features in Empyrion Galactic Survival now and how to get started. So let's go ahead and get started. So I've been playing this game off and on since early alpha, and I really wish they had like a big team working on it and stuff, because it really is a really cool game and deserves to be given a lot of love. I just wish they had a big crew or whatever company working on it. But it's amazing what this small crew of guys has come out with. But yeah, so here you are, you're starting, and you start in your escape pod. You can steer it with the arrow keys, and I can tell you for certain that in the tutorial you're going to want to end up at this engine compartment, part of a crashed ship, I assume. So I'm just using my arrow keys to steer me down there, and start our tutorial here. And I've remapped some of the keys to my own custom settings. So like in the tutorial when it tells you to open your inventory by pressing tab, I actually hit I because I mapped the scoreboard to the tab key. Alright, so this is your initial briefing on how to get started in the tutorial. And you'll probably hear some feedback from another gamer here nearby. He's doing some intensive gaming, so you might hear him chime in from time to time. But anyways, so yeah, the purposes of this is to go over the tutorial, so we're going to go ahead and do this. And you can read this in detail, but basically it's kind of like the role-playing version of the tutorial. It's going to tell you a bunch of stuff to do. So let's go. So first thing you're going to do is go up to your escape pod and press F to get all the stuff out of it, because it will disappear in a few minutes. And there's not much in it, which is good, because people often like start this game, they're like, okay, I'm here, and they just go off running, not realizing this whole load of stuff in that escape pod. That's not the case in the starter tutorial, of course. But so the first thing it says in our checklist over here on the right, and you see that here, we're on the right, it says grab items. We already did that, and then open our inventory. So I'm going to hit I to do that. That'll show me our stuff, and it's going to want us to equip all these things to our toolbar. So you can quickly do that by shift and then left clicking on whatever you want to put in the toolbar. So it's probably going to say put the med kit there, and a drill, and a saw, and a survival constructor. We're going to be needing all those things pretty soon. So pretty much, and some rations maybe. Alright, hit escape to get back out. You see that I've equipped everything except for the antidote. So I'll go ahead. Oops, I just used one by shift right clicking. That's a quick use, is to shift right click on something. So if you want to eat something without equipping it, you can just shift right click it on your inventory. Put that in there. Alright, so wants us to find the tank. There it is. Wants us to fill it up. So we just drag the fuel over there, drop it in, and it'll automatically put it in and tell you how much power you have remaining. You gotta activate the base. You can do that just by going to any part of the base and standing on it, or going inside the base and hitting Y. And then that will activate the base. So then we're going to go in here. It says find your locker. Go on in here. Get this stuff out of here with F. Hit this arrow to transfer everything quickly. And if you have a question about PvP, or you're interested in PvP, well, I don't know why they got a grow light there. There's no grow plot. That's a grow light, looks like. But one thing that I want to let people know about PvP is, let's say you're getting attacked by somebody and you're in a bad spot where you can't really shoot back or anything, and you don't want to lose all your stuff. You can quickly escape from PvP by hitting escape and then just quitting the game. And that will instantly exit you from the playfield, and they will not be able to attack you, and it won't leave your items there or anything. It won't leave you in the game for several seconds like several other online MMORPGs used to do, where they force you to sit and log out, and it takes like 20 seconds or so. But this one you can log out instantly, and you instantly disappear from the playfield, so that's a quick escape if you need to get away from somebody in a hurry. There's a little bit of other stuff in here we can grab, nothing important really. The food randomly changes apparently each time you start the tutorial, because it was different the other time I went through it here. But yep, so we got our stuff, so we're gonna go back out here for our next steps in the tutorial. Place our constructor and whatnot. Oh, you can turn on your jetpack with J, and you can also toggle your helmet on and off with U. Run around so you can see your face or whatever. You only have to have your oxygen on when you're underwater or in space or on a planet with bad atmosphere. Okay. Go back over here. I'm going to plop down our survival constructor. That's 5, so we switch to 5. And then we can move it here or whatever you want to do. Oops, stay there. And you can rotate things. With 7 and 1, and you can change the axis with 0. And then place it. And we're going to want to put our stuff in there, making things. The next thing it's going to want us to do is build a motorbike, and that's this motorbike construction kit. Put that in there, turn on the survival constructor, go to the devices tab, and there's the motorbike right there. You click that, it's going to consume the kit. So there's stuff in here we don't need for now. Grow plots, these are so important, your sprouts for growing food when you start. You want to make sure you protect these at all costs. And then, let's see, can't use that now. We'll go ahead and store that. Alright, so there's our bike in the output, so you collect that from the output hopper and transfer it to your inventory. And then, ooh, you know what? We never equipped our constructor, so I'm gonna just do that real quick because it's gonna screw up the steps. So, got everything out of the constructor. And I pick up the constructor with Shift F. And then if you pick it up with stuff still in it, it's going to drop a bunch of boxes on the ground with all the stuff that you got to pick up. But, alright, so let me re-equip the constructor. That updates that step. Put it down. There you go. Put all the goodies back in there. Okay. Anything else we want to put in there? Stuff we don't need. That's consumable, I'll keep. Okay. Alright, so our next step is to equip the bike. They just improved the handling of this bike, so it's a lot better to use now and get around with. So you select 5, that's where my motorbike is. Press F to mount it, and away you go. And I did test it out earlier, it does turn and stop and stuff better than it did before. Alright, so next step, get a map marker. M, I want you to go near the water. If you read the instructions in that step, it says you gotta go near the water, put a marker near the water, and you're gonna go drop your oxygen processor down in the water, which requires to be placed in the water to operate. So right click there by the water. We can select create a waypoint. And there's our little waypoint there on the map. Head towards that. Look out! Marker. So then I go to the water's edge. Reminds me of that old song. Don't go down to the water's edge, they said today. Can't remember the name of that song. Alright, so you shift click, put the oxygen generator in your toolbar, and select it by selecting the corresponding number on your toolbar, place it in the water, and then left click to place. Alright, select it, and then shift click to put some power in it, and it'll automatically activate and run as long as it has power. And you come back and get your oxygen a little bit later. So now, it wants us to use, us to break stones by using the drill to bust up a stone. Let me just grab the bike real quick. So I'll find the nearest large stone. I think there's one over there. Water, or you come off your bike. Gotta find a large stone here somewhere. It's actually a honey plant, honey tree, whatever it is. Okay, there's a large rock. This one or this one, doesn't matter. We just need a little bit. Select your drill, right click to select stone removal. Not resource mining. Use resource mining on a pure node or like a meteor full of resources. Stone removal is just for doing the stone bits. Right now there's not a lot of resources to them. Hit R to reload. If you don't have any fuel in your drill, commence the drill. Take but a few hits, and that one was too small to actually result in some ore being generated, so let's go to the larger one. Be dropping some small little resource nodes about that size, but so far but basically it works like the first time on one of these normal sized stones here, but for whatever reason it wants to be difficult because of the tutorial video I'm trying to make. Alright, have lunch and wants us to eat something. I got a little bit of that honey from somewhere. I'm just going to right click that to eat. And I'll give you a little food boost. And then we're ready for our next step. And that is to find and mine some resources out of each of these nodes. And they're conveniently highlighted in yellow during this phase, so it's relatively easy to find them all on the map here. But when you go here, make sure you switch your drill back to resource mining. And when you get close to the node, let's go ahead and drill it out. Pretty peaceful on this planet. Haven't really encountered any hostiles here yet. It's kind of nice. Resource node here. Resource drilling. Alright, so I'm not going to bore you going out to these resources. Just follow this part along. We're going to do this and skip ahead. Okay, so I'm just about finishing up mining the last bit of resources that I need for this part of the tutorial. And it's starting to get dark, so I'm going to hit L to toggle my lights on my suit on. Just like a free light built into your suit, similar to like the light in Star Wars Galaxies. One of those I was mentioning earlier was how to escape from somebody in PvP by hitting escape and quitting the game real quick. And that also works for, you know, mobs or something. Let's say you got chased down by some base drones or something, and you're tired of dying. You can just hit escape real quick when they're chasing you, and you'll instantly escape from the game. Give yourself like a 5-minute break or a 3-minute break or whatever, and log back in, and those drones should be gone, unless you like logged out right by where they spawn or something. You know, I would recommend trying to run away far from where they initially spawn from. That way they don't be there when you come back. And we're almost done. A little bit more. Still good to go. Take this back to base and process it. And you see when I'm collecting these resources, the resources come out of the ground as well as crushed stone. It comes out more so when you're processing raw materials instead of resources. But that stuff's great for cheap building materials, for making concrete blocks. It's just something you use quickly to erect some kind of structures or whatever. It's not good for combat material, you know, for a base that's gonna need to be defended by turrets or whatever. But it's okay for just like decorative material or some underground, just blocks, pillars, whatever you need for support or whatever. Alright, so we're heading back. Oh, I didn't quite get enough. So I got it all. Quick. Hitting the space bar to kind of boost the motorcycle a little bit. I'm going to jump in here. Turn my suit back on. My suit light. Get a whole bunch right there. Is that enough? Nope, still. There we go, we did it. Alright. And of course this is the starter drill, which you have to manually pick up the resources when you drill it. When you get upgraded to the higher level T2 drill, it automatically picks up resources for you while you're drilling. Makes it a lot easier. Base here. Come on. Go back to our constructor. Oops, it was on the other side. Turn these resources into ingots. Okay, so you got all our resources loaded up, then you go to the components tab, and there's various type of ingots that you can process in the survival constructor. A more advanced constructor can process more advanced materials, of course. So we're going to process this all up real quick. And I'm shift clicking on each of these stacks to do 10 of each. You can just click one and it'll do one at a time, which is like a stack of 10. But, we just have a little bit of resources, so shift clicking each one's going to burn them pretty quick. And then we get all our resources together, and then we can start building something. And that brings me to another building tip. Let's say you want to work on like the top of this building here and put some blocks up there. And you're like, well, what do I gotta do? I gotta get up there, stand up here or something, and then equip blocks and build it. But let's say you got you want to build something taller that you can't reach with just jump jets or whatever. Well, that's when you can pull out your handy dandy construction drone. What is a handy dandy construction drone, you say? It's simple. You just press F5 and it'll enable your drone like that, and you can move it around like regular, and it has a limited range, but it allows you to get at a much greater height above your location so that you can build blocks more easily. And this also has another great practical purpose, which is, let's say you died and to a bunch of mobs, and they're all hanging around your backpack that you need to get all your stuff out of, well, you can get possibly as close as you can to your backpack. Let's say there's like mobs down here and you're up there or something. You can use your drone to get to the backpack and retrieve your stuff. I can't do it with this constructor, but if this was my backpack here, you can use your drone to hit F, retrieve all your stuff into your inventory without going near the hostiles. Pretty cool, huh? Alright, so let's get back down and check on those things. Didn't process silicon yet. Guess it's probably doing that right now. Let's see how you're doing. It's doing cobalt. And we don't have any neodymium, so it's going to skip right by that. And then now it's on to our silicon. Did we get promethium? I thought I made promethium. I thought I got promethium. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. So that's right. We're going to make some promethium pellets, and that's what you make fuel packs out of. And that's going to be next in the step. You can see where it says create fuel packs after that, so we're just going to create some here real quick. And I can go ahead and queue those up since I know the promethium pellets are going to be done first, so I'll create some of those. I don't know how many wants, but just do that. Okay. As soon as it's done creating those pellets, then it's going to start making those fuel packs. And that should update us here as soon as we are out of 3 more of these. You can also cancel stuff out of the construction queue when it's still queued, not when it's being built. You have to shut the constructor off if you want to cancel whatever's being built right now with the on-off switch. Alright, so once this, we gotta go hunt. So, there should be some more creepy crawlies out since it's dark out now. Starter pistol ain't much, but it's better than nothing. Find somebody to hunt. Problem is, all these peaceful mobs are in packs, and you hit one of them, and they all aggro you. So I'm trying to find something solo. You're a bug. Guys will be alright, because they're like scared of gunfire, so I'll run away. Try this big one. You gotta chase them down because it takes a lot of bullets. Got my stuff. Alright, next step. Back to base and create a meal. Be a food processor here then. How am I supposed to process the food? What? Okay. Create a meal, huh? I can't create a meal in the fridge, so I don't know what you want me to do. I guess create it in the construction survival constructor. You can create a few limited food items in there. So let's do food in there. Still kind of hungry. I'm gonna finish off this alien honey here. And I got a couple corn dogs that I picked along the way, or they gave me. That's good. Alright, and then it wants us to open the control panel with P. What do I want us to do? Open the registry. Registry is up here. And this is where you can list all your vehicles and stuff, and you can activate and deactivate them. Okay, that's as far as the tutorial takes you so far. So, is that a grow light? So let's switch to devices. Yeah, it's a grow light. Turn them on. There. Okay, so now he's over these grow plots. You put some of those sprouts in here, and it's going to start growing you some food. But I got to grab those out of the survival constructor and get going. But like the tutorial thing says, that concludes the tutorial. And at least I hope this part was helpful to some new players with how to get started in Empyrion. If you have any questions, please leave some comments down below. And please don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Alright, thanks for stopping by. You have a great one.